you talk a little bit about this list of young guys, new era on the dump perhaps for Team USA?
Yeah, it's a lot of familiar faces over the course of the last 10 months. I mean, this is a group that we've kind of established since November. A few new faces. Hopefully each camp we have will incorporate some new guys, but the theme remains the same with this group of guys. They're excited to be back. We're excited to get started.
Does it mean to have John Brooks back in? Obviously, he had the injury issues over the past year, but
Yeah.
it seemed like that Portugal game, he really took on a leadership role and like he was ready to kind of be a big leader for this group. How
Yeah.
good is John back?
Well, people forget he's still pretty young,
Right.
John. You think of John as being an old veteran. He's really not.
25.
Right. And so I think part of the maturation process is not only on the field but off the field. And I think he's really embraced that part of things in terms of being much more integrated with the group. And we saw a little bit of that in November. And he's truly excited to be back this week. And we think there's still an upside with John. So we're happy to have him.
Your tenure at this point is just about as long as Bruce II's tenure. Do you think you've established what you can do to get U.S. Soccer to consider you for the job?
I don't think about that. I mean, I think my instincts have told me to look forward and start to vet some of these prospects that we think have a future. And I think so far since I've been doing it, it's been an honor, and the group has responded, and I think we have established now somewhat of a core of guys that have sort of taken on that responsibility of turning that page and looking forward. So I feel good about it, but as a coach, you're never satisfied completely, so there's still a lot of work to be done.
Have you talked to Ernie or Carlos or anyone about the permanent
No,
job yet?
no. My focus really is Brazil and then Mexico, and that's not being, coach speak. It really is. I mean, yeah, I get it. My wife asks me all the time what my future is going to be, but I look at it day by day, and and just doing my job and enjoying the role.
Regarding the young players, particularly the fullback position, what has Anthony Robinson brought to the team? And then also, what do you see from DeAndre Yedlin on the other side in terms of experience on the opposite?
Oh, Anthony's still learning the ropes, especially at the senior level of national team play. He's still new to this, but he's getting valuable minutes overseas. He brings a good amount of pace to the position. He's comfortable getting forward. He's still learning, the defending tactical adjustments that need to be made at this level, but the progress is there. DeAndre, he's now one of the seasoned guys, you would say, with Caps, and I think, again, has shown a good maturation now in terms of his approach, dealing and working with a lot of these young guys, and clearly playing 90 minutes for Newcastle speaks for itself.
Why was this not the time necessarily to bring in some, a few more older veterans, Josie, Raguzan, guys like that?
I still felt this early part of the fall kickoff series to continue the way we've sort of established this group. I don't have a roadmap as to the exact time when it makes the most sense. But I think right now the focus is the group that we have here, and down the line, we'll address that issue. But right now, it's let's get this group going.
Did you want this group to get the experience for these games, and the veterans, you don't really need to see them till the Gold Cup?
That's part of it. It is part of it. I think, now that, this is a very ambitious schedule, these 6 games that we have coming up, and I think the value for the experience for younger players is invaluable, and I think I do know a lot of the veterans. I know what they can bring, and they're part of the future, but when we get into the meat of things next year, but right now I think this is important games for these guys.
Tim Weah, you gave him the start against Bolivia. Obviously, he was nervous in that game to start off.
Yeah.
Rough start to that game for him, but obviously he comes in here, having played games at PSG, started for PSG.
Yeah.
Do you kind of expect him to take a little step, next step, a little more confidence in this?
Well, we'll see. We'll see. You know, you still have the next step. You can't jump 3 places, and I think Tim's certainly coming in with confidence, and he now knows me, my staff, this team, what's expected. But he's still very young, and so we can't expect him to be a seasoned guy today. But I think his comfort level now is a little bit better than it was when we had him.
Jossie back into the mix here. He's played great as a number 9 under Berhalter. What have you seen from him, and do you kind of see that going forward as kind of his position here?
Well, yeah, I mean, I know Jossie well. I coached him
Sure.
For years, and great pro. He's having a great season. He's earned the right to be here, and I think he's embraced the system in Columbus, but I think he can be a real handful as a number 9, and so we'll see.
What has Novakovic done to draw the attention? Obviously, in a Dutch second division, it's a lower level
Right.
that you guys might not give as much attention to as some of the other guys.
You know, it doesn't matter where you are if you're scoring goals, and he offers a little bit of a different skill set for a number 9, if you want to call him that, being a bit longer and rangy and good feet and deceptively crafty in his movement, and so he's interesting. I think the jury's still out as how the transition will be at our level, but I think also he's earned the right to continue to have a look given his role so far.
And you're one debutant long. And what do you look for him this week, and what did you see in
Just
him?
getting to know him day to day. I've never trained with him. I've followed him very closely, and there's certain attributes that I think could translate well at the senior level. Now we'll just have to get to know him this week. He's got speed. He's got some athleticism. He reads the game well. He's formed a good partnership with Tim, and he's logging a lot of minutes, important minutes for a team that's in first place. So that speaks for itself.